And lastly, let me talk about this Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul thing. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather for jipping us for another bag again. I paid $50 to watch it because I've spent more for hangovers and even less. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh my god, he hoodwinked, he bamboozled, he duped us. I was hoping that Floyd would knock him out, but I wasn't shocked that he didn't. I mean, there was a huge weight difference, a huge age difference, and it's not like Logan Paul does not box at all. It's not like he's some rando off the street who didn't have form, who hadn't been training, who wasn't in shape. And I mean, what did he do? He laid on Floyd at the end of the fight to tire Floyd out and then not allow him to, excuse me, get in great rhythm and get good punches in. And when I came up with this topic, I was going to talk about how bad it was for Floyd's legacy to do this. But then when Floyd said you can't pass down legacy to your kids, but you can pass money down to them, I was like, oh, you know what? He doesn't care about his legacy because he's confident in his legacy because he knows what his 50 and 0 is. So if he knows what his 50 and 0 is, who am I to come out here and criticize him for getting millions of dollars? You know, who am I to say, Floyd, you shouldn't have done that because it waters down who you were as a fighter. Because for those who know, they know. The ones who went in that ring with him, those 50 guys, those 50 fights, they know who they fought. And if they know who they fought, who am I to tell them who they fought? Because I obviously hadn't fought him, ain't gonna fight him. I ain't gonna say it ain't a bag out there that I wouldn't take, but I would need like 3 years to train. You know what I mean? Like it would have to be something like that. So shout out to Floyd for getting that bag. Shout out to Logan Paul for getting his bag and surviving and building up his celebrity because Floyd fighting him gives him a different platform. It boosts who he is. And I'll tell you, man, the interesting thing about it was I think that they have something here. Um, Interweaving celebrity fights along with actual fights, sanctioned fights is a thing because the celebrities bring us out, man. Like we want to see the track, the car wreck, right? But at the same time, you can help build up some actual fighters because guess what? The common person doesn't know fighters like that. The common person isn't into boxing like that, but they'll go watch their favorite celebrity. I mean, just as much as people talked about Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul, people were talking about Chad Ochocinco getting in the ring. And the two fights in between those fights were pretty interesting fights. I enjoyed myself watching those fights. I was introduced to four fighters, that and don't get me wrong, I'm not like this avid boxing fan. I watch the big fights, but it's something, and it's another source of revenue. And I think if we haven't learned anything else from COVID, we need to know that the traditional ways of making money work when they work, but we got to get creative. And if it's having some recreational sports mixed with some professional sports, and that brings the eyes to both the recreation and the profession, and it boosts the profession, why not do it? But also, Logan Paul and Chad Ochocinco Johnson both talked about, bro, you can do whatever you want to do. You work hard, you try to put yourself in the right position. Nothing is impossible. And I think that's the biggest theme that I want y'all to take away from this. Besides Brooklyn losing the championship, nothing is impossible. You know, it is anything's possible. Anything. You have Ocho Cinco, who's not a traditional fighter. He trains for a little while. He stops eating his McDonald's. He gets out there. He makes him a nice bag, and he fights and he has fun. And he has his I am athlete guys with him supporting him. Real brotherhood, real friendship. Then you have Logan Paul, who's a YouTuber, the lesser famous of the Pauls, the lesser of the boxers of the Pauls, to be honest. And he gets to fight arguably the GOAT of the sport. And he goes 8 exhibition rounds with him. Now, do I think Floyd gave him his best shot even at 44? No. But anything is possible. So if you have a dream, work hard, pursue it, create relationships, and maybe one day that dream will come true. Big baby, yeah.